Okay, we are live and I will look to our attendance list accordingly.
Okay.
Okay, so I do not see any guests present, but we have Andrea Egmont, acting ADA coordinator, Dennis Morrell, soon to be soon to be claiming that role, I suppose, Jenny Donahue, chair, Kristen Farrell, secretary. We have Andy Port moderating, and commission members Sean Flaherty, Colin Sarf, and Rich Treaster.
Okay, so we do have a quorum. We can give it a minute to see if Lisa and Brian or Karen pop on. I can quickly text both of them.
Safari vertical line series suggestion. Call into Newburyport Commission on Disabilities past Howard Field 0 at 5. 6.
Hold on there, folks.
Speech off.
I was just going to say you could just mute yourself, Jenny.
Oh,
That would
there's
be okay.
Lisa.
Oh, here comes Lisa.
Okay, let's see. Let's give Brian a minute.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Good. Good.
How are you?
Pretty good. Yep. I've been
Good.
busy.
Looks like we've got a quorum.
We do have a quorum. We're just giving Brian a minute to see if he pops on. I haven't heard that he's not. So let me just shoot him a text real quick. Text Brian Greenberg.
What do you want to say?
Are you joining us on the Zoom meeting tonight? Question mark. We are on right now.
Oh, I thought that was him.
Your message to Brian Greenberg says that you're joining us on the Zoom meeting tonight.
Jenny, I can never get my voice thing to work so smoothly as that.
Yes.
So I'm impressed.
Okay.
I end up yelling at it.
Okay.
Oh, I
let's
sent
see.
send text.
I know it. I do tell my phone to do everything. It's great. So we'll just
So we
What
can
time-
move on to the next. I have full screen right now, so let me see what this is. It's 5:04.
5:04 now. Okay, so we'll just get started, and we'll see if he pops on. Thank you everyone who did make it. I have not heard from Karen Sakaniwa since she last joined us. And I know that she did get approved by the city council, but and I've sent her the reminders and I've tried to reach out to her on Facebook, but to no avail. And so I might try to call or reach out to Donna Musumeci to see if they have her phone number on file from her.
I think I might have it in a previous set of notes, Jenny, so I can follow up with her first thing next week.
Okay.
She did reach out to me directly. I don't think it was last month, but it was regarding the TSAC meetings because she was going to be joining the TSAC meetings just as like a representative from the commission and just kind of observing all of those in case there was something we needed to speak into. So she reached out to me and I'll double check. Yeah.
Kristen, if you have her phone number, if you could just text it to me,
Sure.
that would be great. And I'll just reach out to her because I want to make sure she's still interested and wanting to be a part of what we're doing. Because we just haven't, sorry, dropped my iPad. We just haven't seen her,
Right. Okay. I just have that noted.
Sorry.
So we have public comment and, I'm sorry, approval of previous meeting minutes. So given that our meetings are recorded and posted on YouTube, my goal is to use our new agenda formats to bullet out the points that we discuss as minutes, and I have not retroactively done that for the previous months. So when I do that, I will get those sent out to everyone and we can kind of approve those all at once. that does kind of also tie into the website updates because those could ultimately be linked to the website or should be linked on our page. And I have not heard back from Matt Coogan. I've reached out to him a couple times, so I will continue to follow up. My last correspondence to him was that we could set up a Zoom call and go over the website while we were both looking at it live, or even just a phone call while we were both sitting at a computer screen, but I haven't heard back from him. So
Okay.
I'm not sure. Dennis, do you know if one of the two of you in the building department will have access to our webpage as far as making adjustments, or city? I know certain city employees do have that capability and certain don't.
I don't think I have access to it,
Anybody
but-
can, anyone can get it.
Yeah, you just have to know how to do it. The city clerk's office, I think right now is kind of the general umbrella for your committee or commission, but they can be, someone else can be trained to do that on behalf of the board or commission for a division of the city.
Okay. I know
Right,
way
and I
back
do
in
want-
the day,
but I
like
wanna
2 or 3
clarify-
building inspectors ago, I don't even remember who it was, which one of them was able, maybe it was Peter, was able to, with the help of Diane in the planning office, kind of get our meeting minutes linked up onto our city webpage. So not necessarily our calendar postings, those are definitely handled by the city clerk, but I think like our meeting minutes and our
And edits
updates
to the
on the
page.
content, correct?
Yeah. But I want to clarify that none of us as commissioners have access to be able to do those changes on the website. It's something that only a city staff member can do. So we just need someone to do it. We need to get the site updated and we need to be able to have our minutes and
We
the
just need
recordings
to-
posted.
Sorry, Andrea, I didn't hear your comment.
I was just saying that I think what Andy was saying is that it's actually very easy for a city employee to. They just have to know that they're doing it and be linked to the page, and then they can get access to edit. So if you're asking Dennis to take that on as the liaison, then he would just have to get set up for that. It's not hard.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. It's just if someone walks me through it, I can do it.
Oh, great. Okay. I think the question before was maybe some of the previous roles were not technologically savvy and didn't feel comfortable kind of doing that. So
I'm not trying
if
to
that's-
brag, but I am pretty good at computers.
okay, good. I love it. No,
I was gonna
brag,
say
brag all you want.
That's
gonna
kind of
Good
a theme.
news.
That's kind of a
That's-
theme in the city.
Yeah,
great
the
news.
technological fear, I guess, or
All right, I hope I don't regret saying that.
no,
then.
it'll be easy.
No,
it'll be easy.
no,
We'll work
simple
together,
stuff.
Dennis. I promise. I'm a
Okay.
nice person. It's
No problem.
no
Just
pressure.
Just kidding.
Okay, awesome.
All right,
That's
great. So we can get that taken care
Yeah,
of.
So
Den-
Andy, who should we connect Dennis with for?
Yeah, if I can make a
that?
suggestion, so Diane in our office handles quite a bit of stuff, and obviously couldn't take on this, right? Long story short, I think the easiest way to do it is the city clerk's office currently handles all the miscellaneous boards and committees that don't fall underneath our department or some other division of the city. So I think in this case, what would make the most sense is maybe Dennis, if you're going to be doing that, is just touch base with the clerk's office. It might be one particular person in that office, maybe it's Kathleen or someone else in there who is doing the regular website updates, right? Rich sometimes does those, Rich Jones, sometimes it's Patricia Barker, but at any rate, the clerk's office, they can give you a quick overview of anything you need to know. It's pretty straightforward. You're filling out, you know what you're doing. You fill out boxes basically and plug in text, attachments, whatever. And then all you need to just have is your login to do it and them showing you once or twice what to do. And you can basically update that particular division or set of pages that fall underneath the commission. So you might need a few tips as to how to do it, but after that, you'd be able to do it as needed.
Okay, great. All
Awesome.
right, I'll touch base
Perfect.
with them.
And they can make sure you have
Awesome.
a log into the website for the administrative right to go in there and make edits.
Yep.
Great, fabulous. So we can move on to public comment and new business.
Well, there's no public comment
Oh,
because
I'm sorry,
there's,
Jenny, sorry to interrupt. I just saw Brian. Hi, Brian.
yes. And I meant to greet him because I did hear him come
Hi.
in. Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. Sorry I'm late.
That's okay. Did you get my message?
No, I don't think I did, but I got a calendar reminder to myself.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I tried to text you. So we've got everyone but Karen here. That's great. yeah, Kristen, you'll make a note to send me her number so I can touch base with her. And for the record, the TSAC meeting that was scheduled for today was canceled or postponed till the 24th. So I plan on attending them anyway, because there's some items I'm waiting for them to bring up and speak to, but they haven't met, so there hasn't been anything there. Anyway, we can, I'm trying to remember if there was something I was gonna, that wasn't on the agenda. No, we'll circle back to that after the agenda if I remember what it was I wanted to bring up, but
Okay,
can
does
go into the
anybody else
agenda.
have any new business to bring up before we go into Andrea Egmont and Dennis ADA coordinator update?
Nope.
Okay, take it away.
Is my video on? Is it working?
Yes, we can see you.
Okay, now you can see me in my house, not driving anymore. So I don't actually have any updates. I feel like between COVID ending, for lack of a better term, for the world coming back to life, things in the city have really gotten like very hectic. I just feel like everything is like full speed ahead right now. So I had also made a request a while back for them to change the website on the page for public meetings to show accommodations and how people can get them. We have the wording and everything. It just hasn't gotten up there. So at least last time I checked, it hadn't. But that was the last thing I was really working on and hoping that it would go through. I passed the torch on the Water Street, Joppa Flats issue. And I know that a few other people met about that. Dennis, have you been involved in those conversations?
I did the boat launch at Joppa, but I didn't, yeah, that's the only thing I was really involved in. And the,
So where did that end up? So just to refresh everybody, this is the 2 parking spaces, or the parking spaces that are now in a driveway into a garage. And I know that this group had talked about moving the spot, but the Parks Commission said that they had worked really hard with the state to define it, and they didn't think they could go back and change the spot. So the goal was just simply to get it repainted at this point.
Yep.
which it's been
Yeah, they
repainted.
actually, I'm sorry, the Parks Commission did actually get, there was a variance so that they could have that spot where it is. So the point that we did bring up last time about it not being closest to the ramp is a moot point now. But
could we just, for my ignorance, I guess, why would there have been a variance to put that space on the far right instead of on the far left? What would the benefit have been? Or what was the impetus? For that?
I believe it had something to do with the homeowner and something that they had worked out. And I'm not sure how the request got by us, but it did.
Okay.
It was done a while ago. The variance request letters that go to our mailbox, obviously City Hall's been closed. I haven't been in collecting that mail. I'm not sure if it's being collected by
Anyone?
Andy or the building department or
Right.
where any of it's going right now.
Well,
It's
this was
probably
obviously
pilot.
several years ago anyway, but
Right.
I
Yeah,
was
this
just wondering.
project happened. So I think the bottom line is that it has been painted. And so the spot exists, and maybe down the road, it's worth looking at changing it down the road. But for now, at least it's back to.
Okay, so that was my question, was because the last that I was told was that KP Law got involved, and that they had given the homeowner until June 1st to do what he was supposed to do. And I haven't heard from anybody if that happened.
And restriped.
Are you saying that the painting has been done?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
It's been
great.
striped and the placard is there.
Yep.
The
Okay,
sign.
cool.
All right. Excellent. That's
Um,
fantastic.
Yeah, so those were the two issues. I spoke to Dennis just earlier. We're gonna set up a time for me to pass the torch and really go through resources for Dennis. You haven't done anything like this before, right?
Not specifically for a city. no.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, there's there's accessibility when it comes to permitting and zoning and code, I mean, and then there's accessibility when it comes to humans and getting around. So we have a lot of resources that I'll pass on. And then Dennis will also attend the tech reviews. And I think the nice thing is to have somebody who is in the building department and is aware of things, but also to be able to keep the lens and make sure that anything that comes up around accessibility can come back, like exactly this, like that variance should have at some point come to the commission for a conversation or review. So
Yeah.
that'll be part of his role moving forward. And I think at that point, obviously, I'm gonna step back. But I do want to say that youth services, we are really, I mean, we've always worked to be accessible, but we are definitely taking it to another level with the therapeutic rec coordinator and looking at some things as far as spaces and being able to, look at where we can offer programs to make sure that they're accessible. We have some kids who can't access some of the locations that we've been using in city parks. So I think that'll be something you'll see me come back around for some support down the road.
Cool.
And then obviously anything Dennis needs, I'm happy to jump in and assist. But I think once we have the really clear timeline and he knows when a complaint comes in, how quickly or, how much time we have to move things through, it'll be good.
Yep. Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you for filling in with all that you do already. It's just great to know that we have someone we can fall back on,
At any time. I honestly,
Yes, thank you.
it's really something that I, when I came on and the doctor, had came forward with the complaint, I was like, oh, this is the stuff I love. Like, that's the piece, like the zoning and the projects don't interest me. But when it comes to somebody fighting for their rights, I want to get involved. So please consider me always there to do
Great.
that.
Excellent.
Great.
And,
And Dennis, we can also share some resources with you with the MOD and some other accessibility forums online that you can potentially find for resources that are really great. Jenny, what about CAM training?
Yes, I was just going to bring up, I have not received any notices yet of when they're going to have it. But I can shoot an email to Jeff Dugan to sort of inquire when they're planning to do the next CAM training. But I also know that he does do sort of mini CAM trainings. So if it's not going to be for a while, I could talk to him and see what he might be willing to do for us to get Dennis.
You're gonna have to break down all the alphabet soup for Dennis.
Oh,
'cause you
sorry.
guys just
Community
speak in
access monitor. Community
I knew that
access.
one. I knew that
Oh,
one.
okay, good.
No, but there are a lot of algorithms flying around.
MOD
Yeah.
is the Mass Office on Disability. And Jenny, I will be honest with you, Jeff Dugan is like radio silent. I think he's drowning. He's the only person in that office. He's not
Right.
responding to very much. And he's like really having a hard time triaging things. So
Okay.
I don't think he would be equipped to do an individual training at this point. I would love to be wrong about that, but it's worth reaching out to him to find out.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'll at
But
least
yeah.
try to find out when they're planning one.
Yeah. The
And
U.S.
it'll-
Access Board is also offering monthly webinars, which are free, which are generally not within our purview, but would certainly be in the purview of the building department. So Dennis, I'll send you those links, and they're really, like an hour and a half once a month. And they're pretty informative.
Great. Thank you.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So
right.
nothing else from
I-
the ADA coordinators?
Question for Dennis, or two. Hi, Dennis, Sean.
Hey, Sean.
Last month, we talked about you and Greg were gonna look at that sidewalk on Water Street
to see if it was wide enough. I don't know if you guys had a chance for that, and also for the court parking issue.
You broke up on the last one. What was the last one you asked?
Superior Court parking issue?
We have not seen the parking issue, but we took, I know Greg took a look at the sidewalk, and I'll just follow up with him on that one. I don't have an update right now on that, but did you said you were gonna walk by on that too? Did you take a walk by on that one? Again?
I've seen it, and I drove by it recently, and there's no way it's 4 feet.
No way? Okay.
I would say.
I did notice it a week or so ago. I was in the car, so I didn't actually measure, but that corner of the building is very far forward onto the sidewalk.
Which place are we talking about?
It's near the corner. It's at Water Street, sort of near where that new rail trail comes out by the water treatment plant. There's a home being renovated, and it's
okay.
currently very boxy and wrapped in Tyvek.
Yep.
And it sticks right onto the sidewalk. It's pretty far out there.
I actually have to do an inspection over there next week. So I will check that out Tuesday or Wednesday of next week when I'm over there. I'll just put that in my notes, so I'll make sure I follow up on that regardless of what the information I get from Greg. If you know it's not 4 feet, then I'll talk to the contractors.
Yeah, I didn't measure it, but I drove by.
Pretty
it again,
obvious.
you know.
It looks like it would be hard pressed to have two people traversing the sidewalk in opposite directions, much less like a wheelchair or a stroller or
No
something.
problem.
Okay.
The Superior Courthouse, I think Greg said he was going to do something about, so I backed off, and I haven't heard back from their ADA coordinator over there. I sent her an email. And
You didn't get any response?
nothing, but I thought from the last month that Dennis or Greg were going to look into it, so I backed off of it. So
Okay.
I
Well-
think it's more appropriate for an ADA person to talk to another ADA person. I don't know, rather than, I don't mind doing it, but.
Yeah, I think it's just, a matter of getting a chance to get to it.
Yeah, and I think there was I know like Greg thought they weren't sure who was going to take on the coordinator. So that's kind of, everybody's been involved and yet none of us have been really responsible for it. So I wouldn't give up on that one, Sean. I think we can move forward with it. Once Dennis and I meet, maybe then he can reach out to them as the official ADA coordinator.
Yeah, I think that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wondering, who owns the property that the courthouse is on? Is that municipal or is that state? Because
State.
I believe
It's gotta
it's state. That's all state, but I got a good relationship with John Bennett, the state building commissioner.
Okay.
So I'm gonna follow up with that, and I'm gonna give him a call, and I'll be able to report back. But yeah, it's just kind of like Andy was saying, nobody really knew who the coordinator was for like the past 3 weeks.
Yep. No problem.
Yeah. So we're in flux. That's fine.
Oh, good.
So I'm going to excuse myself now, but I will meet with Dennis and we'll officially pass the torch to him.
Okay,
Awesome.
perfect.
All
Thank
right.
you,
Thank you,
Andrea.
Bye,
Andy, so
everybody.
much.
Thanks,
Thanks.
Andy.
Bye.
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 Thank you, Dennis.
No problem, John.
So we have a budget update. I do not have the recent numbers from the quarter in process, but our revolving fund is about $34,000.
Okay.
I don't have an exact number from the Ethan Manning's office, but that was with my last official numbers totaled together with what we've re-added from the recent quarters of handicap parking. So that
Okay.
is it for the budget.
All right. Well, that's a nice little chunk more than I think the last time we checked. So that's good.
And that
But-
brings us into old business. And
Yeah.
the first item is Pioneer League.
Yep, so we're still waiting on, you know, things like cost estimates and real-time needs of what they're gonna be doing for the infrastructure. So, you know, I think I wanted to discuss being a safety net for that project in terms of making sure that that the additional curb cuts portion of the infrastructure project doesn't get cut because of funding, or rather doesn't get added because of a lack of funding. You know, the curb cuts is something that the Disability Commission money has paid for historically. So I don't mind us putting our resources towards that project if it comes down to it. But again, we don't know, you know, how much they need. We don't have a cost estimate, but we certainly have enough that we could make sure, you know, we could ensure that that it will happen.
Do they
So
have blueprints of the sketch? I mean, do they have sketches of the plan of where they're looking to,
I
of
believe
what
there's all kinds of blueprints that have been up on the multiple meetings that I've attended, but of course I can't really see them. Andrew, do you know who Kristen might reach out to? Would that be John Eric White, maybe, to look at that proposal for
Anything,
Pioneer?
yeah, anything in the roadway would be John Eric White. The overlap, the piece on the park side would be Lise Reed, the parks director, and there's a little bit of overlap in the discussions about that area right now.
Right. But we're talking about crosswalks and curb cuts that he said that they might not do, they might just do one instead of three that would be more appropriate because
Yeah,
of a lack of money.
Yeah, I don't know
So,
the current status on that, but John Eric White would definitely be your person to talk to first on that. He would know the most.
okay.
Yeah.
So maybe Kristen, you could email, do you by chance have his email?
I
Have you
do, yes.
communicated with him ever? Okay. He would be the one to talk to, and maybe you could ask him specific questions.
Okay.
You know, and it was sort of Counselor Wallace was slightly misquoted in the paper recently in stating that the Disability Commission would commit to funding, you know, helping to fund that, which we have not decided to do officially. So but I don't want anyone to think that I went ahead and told her that was okay to, you know, give the green light on mentioning. It was a miscommunication that did end up getting printed. And so, you know, that is what it is. But she's clear on the fact that this is on our agenda and it's something that we have to discuss. So there's no assumption, you know, that they're going to get money from us. But
Jenny,
we
is
do need
there
to talk about
also
it.
a playground question at that same space?
Well, the playground situation, as far as I know, is that they're going to be moving they're going to take away the existing playground completely. They're going to turn that whole section into parking, and they're going to build a new playground within the park that's going to be fully accessible and inclusive. That is already, that's their plan. They haven't come, you know, to us with any kind of indication that they might need help with funding for it. I don't know what their plans are yet for funding it, but their plans are to have it be fully inclusive. So I did, however, ask that we be coordinated with Lise Reed, talking with the vendors and about the equipment. And they did both, Lisa said, and also Kim Turner said that they would reach out, I think both to you, Kristen, and also to Casey Walsh Edwards.
Great.
So we won't get overlooked when it comes time to pick the equipment. That was my concern, and I made sure to let them know, that we want to be included in that conversation. So that'll be on the horizon. And
Okay.
that's great news as far as I
Nice.
can tell.
Good.
Yeah. So that considered, I think, we definitely want to make, we do want to ensure that there are the 3 access points that were proposed, but might not happen if they don't have enough for it. Because the minimum would be 1, and they can get away with just crossing in one area, but they want to cross in another area as well. So, Kristen, I definitely would talk to John Eric White, see if they, have priced out what it would cost to do all 3
Okay.
with the truncated domes and all the curb cuts and everything,
Mm-hmm.
and where they stand with their budgetary needs.
Okay. Yep. I'll take care of that. Thank you.
Okay, cool. All right. Does anyone have anything they want to ask about that project or bring up? I mean, we do need to get more information, but does anyone have any input in terms of, whether or not you would support or not potentially funding the additional curb cuts for that project?
I think I'd like to see the pictures
Yeah.
and know what we're talking about.
The plans, I agree.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Well, then, Kristen, if you could follow up and then maybe send them out to everybody
Sure.
with what you learned,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
that would
definitely.
be fantastic. Because I certainly can't convey any of it because I can't see it. Though it's been posted, on the screen at all the meetings that I've attended. But anyhow, all right. So we can move on to the
Those
next.
meetings are also recorded. So Jenny, you and I can follow up offline, and I can look through some of the past recordings. If I don't get a hold of John Eric right away, it might be a more expedient way for me to just try to screenshot
That's a
some
good call.
YouTube videos myself. So we can
Yeah,
follow up
because
with
all
that
those
next
meetings
week.
are on YouTube. So
Mhm.
that's also a good point.
Great. Perfect.
Yep. They've mostly been I'm trying to remember which meetings they've been at. Planning and development. Andrew, do you remember which meetings focus the most heavily on that project? More recently, was it neighborhood and city services?
Yeah.
Or was it planning and development?
I believe neighborhood and city services, that's where most of that dialogue has been. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. So
those posted because they're not public meetings though, Andrew?
yeah, the committee meetings.
Committee meetings are all public.
Okay, they are. Okay.
Yep. They've all
Thank
been
you.
public. They're all public.
Okay.
So yeah, they're the subcommittee meetings from the city
Okay.
council. So, okay. So neighborhood and city services, check.
Got it. Yep.
Over the past few months.
Perfect.
So, okay, cool.
Thank you.
Great.
Okay, so outdoor dining access updates.
So they did fix the bit of a gap onto the ramp at somebody help me here, the church restaurant.
Mission Oak.
Mission Oak, thank you. But I believe they still had to put railings on.
They do.
Dennis, do you have any update on what they've done?
They do, and this is probably the second time or the third time I'm gonna have to follow up with them. I actually talked to them on Tuesday afternoon about the railing still not being up. So
Okay.
I'm working on that right now. I did get them to do it, like you said, I did get them to do a transition on the ramp onto the brick.
Right.
Pavers to kind of make a smoother transition, but there needs to be a railing because it's 1 and 12. So
right.
I'm on top of that one, definitely.
Okay.
I also walked down, I basically hit all the outdoor dining. on State Street. I walked down Pleasant Street, and I kind of
Great.
made sure all the tables, there was accessibility to all the tables. I made sure there was at least one table that, a wheelchair could easily pull up to. I also made it so there was spacing on the sidewalks. There were some tables that were encroaching on the 4 feet on the sidewalk. So everyone was very helpful. Some people had to do a little hemming and hawing, but everybody moved. And they
Great. Oh, thank you so
everything
much.
everything but the railing. I'm on that railing. It's kinda
Okay.
aggravate me a little bit that it's not.
Maybe he thinks he can milk it through the season or something, but
Not gonna happen.
you don't want to see anybody going flying backwards down that thing and
Yeah,
not
that's
being able to stop
absolutely-
themselves.
That's absolutely required by code, so
Yeah.
it's not gonna happen.
Does it have
Yeah.
a lip on the edge of the ramp, or it has to be a railing? It can't just be like a kick edge.
No, he needs to have a
It
rail.
has to be a physical railing. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, the pitch of it is too steep.
right.
Okay.
It's code required for a railing for that pitch.
Okay.
All right, great. Well, if shoot me an email when you get any more progress on that.
No problem.
Did anyone else have any other outdoor dining experiences that they wanted to share?
Just that they look really nice.
It does look very pretty, doesn't it?
Excellent.
Everything looks
So
They did.
That's
pretty.
what I want to hear.
Oh, it looks very pretty.
Going through town, it's gorgeous.
Good to hear.
Good. Glad to hear that. And it sounds like, we've gotten the access tidied up there, and it's on the minds of the businesses, so that's good. Lisa, in your travels, of course, feel free to continue to report to us anything that you experience that's off. That's always helpful. You're kind of our wheels on the ground there. And
That's
you too,
right.
Kristen, if you
I
end
have
up
my-
taking your kids downtown, if you venture out for that kind of adventure.
Right.
I have my eyeballs peeled.
Very good. All right, what do we have next? My dear Kristen?
So we addressed the website already. We addressed Joppa boat launch already, and we have Silent Disabilities Sunflower Lanyard Program update.
Oh, how'd we make out with that?
Yeah, who was gonna take that up?
That's me. John.
Okay, were you able to learn anything
Well-
about it?
I have a phone call into Provincetown, and I'm expecting tomorrow to speak to, in Provincetown, it's the ADA coordinator who also has building responsibilities, so she wasn't available to speak with me. So I sent her an
Okay.
email. I'm waiting back for that. And then Revere was the other place that was mentioned. And their Disabilities Commission, you can call them on Friday mornings. So I'm calling them tomorrow. So I'll have more information next
Great.
time.
And I had a thought too that, something that you could do when you get some information, is to reach out to Katie Ives at the Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
She's the head now, and I think that she would be very amenable to helping us maybe, reach out to the business community to get folks on board
Right.
and to spread the word about it. So you could include that in your outreach.
Okay, definitely. I know Katie.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Geez, is that really it?
That's it.
Okay.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Does anyone have anything else that they want to bring up? No? Okay.
Seeing any hand raises or any?
This
Nothing?
is, I'm just curious if anyone knows. Grand Trunk, which is on Pleasant Street now, is moving to Center Street. And I'm hoping that they're moving into an accessible place because I really like them.
Center Street, like
Yeah, we're on Center
Center
Street.
Street. I know.
Like 3.5. It says like it's kind of set back from like if it's cross. I think it's the other side of 10 Center Street. That kind of
Okay.
They're moving to 3.5 Center Street?
yeah.
So diagonally closer to Water Street, or
Uh, I forget
Did
which side, but
Hmm.
yeah, it's close to the water side. Water
Okay.
Street side, so
Do you know if there's stairs to get in?
I'm not sure, but
It used to, it
Okay.
used to be a model shop, and I went in there some years ago. I know there's parking right up front, which is good, but I forget about the steps. I think there's steps.
Got an inspection there next week for the work that they're doing. I'll check it out.
Do you know how
Great.
much work they're doing?
I don't right now, not off the top of my head, but that's why I
Okay.
just asked and it kind of rang a bell and I just wrote it
Yeah.
down because I want to check that out.
If
Yeah.
they spend a certain amount, they have to
Exactly.
make it accessible.
What is that number, Jenny? Is it 100,000? Or is it
Um,
less?
Used to
45?
be 70. What?
last I knew, I believe it was 100,000 or
That's what I
something
recall,
like,
too.
more than 30% or 50, no,
More
than 30%.
More than 40% of the overall cost of the project.
40%. Thank you. Okay. Yep. So, yeah. All right, great. Then maybe just, yeah, Dennis, you're kind of wearing that hat so you can, follow up and make sure that we know what they're doing.
You
Absolutely.
can tell them they have fans that are disabled.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder
Oh.
if it would be the sort of situation where they could put a lift if there were stairs or something like that.
They're gonna miss out on a demographic, so that's the way I'm gonna explain it to
Right.
them.
That's
Yeah,
right.
if they
Great.
can,
Unless I can
if they
make
can
it, unless
manage
I
a
can make them
ramp
do
or a
it, get
lift,
people.
Right.
something like that.
Right.
Yeah, it would be in their best interest for sure.
Yep.
All right, well, what time is it?
5:43.
43, yeah.
All right, well, I think we can cut out early since there's nothing else. If there's nothing else from anyone, I think, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
I can second.
Roll call.
Jenny,
Yes.
Kristen, yes. Lisa,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Rich. Rich is nodding yes. Thumbs up.
Okay.
Sean
Yes.
and Colin.
yes.
Very good. Meeting
Okay.
adjourned.
All right, we'll see you all next month. Thank you all for
Thank
coming.
you,
and
everyone.
have a great
Thanks,
Thank
Andrew,
you.
for
Good night.
coordinating.
Thanks,
Bye.
Thank you,
everybody.
Good night,
everyone.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.